Hi guys, road trip time. What we did with that car is we drove 1,300 miles, and I give you an overview, is the car reliable for that or not. We went to the north of Germany, we touched base in the east of Germany where I'm going to show you some picture about. Then we went up to the north directly to the Baltic Sea, where I'm also going to show you some amazing pictures or clips from that side, because we actually met where the fundamentals of the modern starcraft being take place, where the famous V2 rockets been invented, especially from Wernher von Braun, which actually was also leading the Apollo program. And then of course we got an update 2.1 with the car during our trip, and our experience we're going to share with you. Is the car suitable for that long trip? This is what you're going to see in that video. Ready to take off. The car is charged at 94%. It says we have actually 662 kilometers, which is approximately 320 miles. And the first trip is 476. He says already we like to charge. Let's see how long we can drive without charging, and we start in the off mode. Let's go. During the first stop we had roughly 25% left and drove 300 kilometers. So actually we would get 450 kilometers with one charge. When we're driving like 120 kilometers, which is approximately 80 miles per hour. Of course, sometimes we accelerate it a little bit. But the funny thing is now, can you hear that? It's a very funny noise coming out of the Fisker. I don't know what it is. This, do you hear that? Never heard that before, never experienced that before. Miles and miles later, we finally came to our first destination, Frankfurt Oder. And it's always interesting to see when you're living in the south of Germany, how the eastern part of Germany still looks a little bit like the former UdSSR under the umbrella of Russia during that time. But on the other hand side, you see also this absolutely old, beautiful places. It's just amazing to see this mixture and also the difference. Leaving this nice place behind us and driving back to the highway to our final destination, Usedom. We're eating mile per mile with approximately 125 kilometers, what would be around 70 miles, maybe 75 miles. Kilometer, mile after mile, and it's pretty boring. Something feels really wrong now. Just wonder what. Oh, I forgot. I'm on the German Autobahn. We can drive as fast as we like. So let's do that. Yoo-hoo! Full speed. La 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 la. 190, 200. Woo! Okay, traffic at first. Maybe we can max it out. Yes, we can. Max out speed. Maybe this goes a little bit faster now.
But then another issue occurs. People are disturbing you and the energy consumption goes up. So let's go down a little bit again. And does the destiny like to smile on us? We are stuck in heavy traffic directly next to what? The Tesla factory in Berlin. Unbelievable. If this is a joke, sometimes like the higher up us will do with us, I don't know. Yeah, finally we arrived on the ocean with the ocean. What you see behind me is the Baltic Sea and we are on the island Usedom. Before we go inside to Peenemünde, where the V3 rocket was actually produced, I'd like to talk a little bit about how did the Fisker Ocean, in this case the Fisker Ocean, that one performed within the trip which we did. So we drove roughly about 1,200 kilometers, which is approximately 680 miles. On the 680 miles we discovered a couple of failures, I need to say. We had at the beginning when we started with our journey that the front speaker didn't work. So actually just in the rear seats you got music. We had some issues with the navigation system, but it was okay. And we needed to charge a couple of times. So what about the range? What can I say about the range of the car? Well, it's quite funny, yeah, because we have seen that there's a fluctuation within the range. So for example, we drove first the Earth to see how long we can go. And with the Earth mode, we went about roughly 450 kilometers. This is it. We started with 100% and we needed recharge quickly. Then we switched into fun mode and actually was more or less the same range we could get. Yeah, it was maybe like 10 miles less as with the Earth mode in total, but that's quite funny. So we decided now to drive in the fun mode. While we were standing, because we made our trip via Halle and then we went to Frankfurt Oder, which you have seen already some really nice pictures. From that point, when we drove them here to Usedom, we have seen that the fun mode took much more energy as previously. Even when we've been driving more consistently, we drove about 80 miles, but there was not a lot of traffic. We don't know if this comes from the regen braking, if this makes such a difference, but it was again a little bit tricky. What about the comfort? I have to say, driving in the Fisker Ocean, even over this long distance, is very comfortable. It's a really lovely car. You don't get any, like big issues. Your neck is not hurting. Stuff like that is pretty good. We didn't have any issues with that. Principle is a really good car. Of course, we're missing the features like the ADAS and stuff like that. Would be good if the lane assist would be working. If you would have an autopilot while you're taking cruise control, it also keeps the distance. That would be helpful, because otherwise you always need to switch down and switch off everything. So far so good, but more info follow, and we like to go now into this little thing and I show you a little bit of Second World War history. All right.
we are leaving the area with very mixed feelings, and finally came also to the bright side of Usedom and enjoyed a couple of days on this beautiful area with its beaches.
Finally was time to take our trip home, and how this looked like, this is what you're going to see now.
It started so shiny, but then see what happened.
Ooh, look at these streets here, yeah? Unbelievable, huh? That's Germany, Germany in the wild, yeah? So everybody says our infrastructure is so great, here you go. But I need to say that Fisker has a really good suspension, because even with the shitty roads, we're driving here 71 kilometers, approximately 50 miles. And hey, of course it's a little bit wobbling. Hey, but it's really comfortable. I think with my other car, that would be a neck breaker, yeah? Well done, Fisker. Alright, while we're cruising with a speed of 140 kilometers on the German Autobahn highway, approximately 85 miles, I'd like to tell you what happened, yeah, because we've been very surprised when we came yesterday to the car, because we had some issues, as I said, also on the way to Usedom already. We came back and then the aircon was on full speed, the solar panel wasn't working, so we had a lot of issues. Finally I checked, you know, like the software, and we got updated to 2.1. I didn't get any recognition, something like that. So this morning when we jumped into the car, everything was properly working, but still, as you can see, we have others issue. Yeah, so you can see here, for example, still it says we're having the issues. Yeah, I'm keen to see now how, for example, energy consumption will be, how things working. Yeah, we already like 50 kilometers on the road till we've been on the highway. What I can say so far is that you see a little bit more differentiation between the different modes. Yeah, at the moment I'm driving on Earth mode, Fun mode and Hyper mode are now a little bit more far from each other, because the Fun mode was actually walking like the Hyper mode before. Didn't see too much difference. The aircon seems to be very stabilized now in the Earth mode, because we had always issues with Earth mode. That's why we decided also on the way to, when we started the trip, then finally to switch over to Fun mode, because A, there wasn't big consumption difference within the modes. B, the aircon is much better in Fun mode, I need to say. Yeah. What I didn't get so far is the saying that the charging port is open. That didn't pop up. What I also need to say, what I'm feeling now is, and this was pretty annoying in the Earth mode, when you accelerate from standing in Earth mode, you needed to push the pedal really long, and it felt like ages that the car keeps on going or starts to get going. That also now better, but you will get more information, of course, when we ended the trip, and I can tell you also if I see a difference within the consumptions and how things look like. Charging already the second time. On the first charging station we had a big issue with the Lego charging station, and I tell you it wasn't cool, because we've been down with at 10% or lower than 10%, and the charging station didn't work, but the hotline helped us and everything was good. Anyhow, the second stop now, and as promised, an update also about the range. We've been driving about 110 to 115 kilometers approximately in average, because there are a lot of traffic and or say a lot of limits, because there are maintenance right now on the area of Berlin. So we are now in Leipzig, and yeah, couple things which we noticed. The range with 2.1, yeah, it's absolutely downsized. Yeah, we charged till 86%. And we could just reach about 297 kilometers now till we landed on the next station with 7%, where we're charging right now. And I have to say that's pretty bad. I don't know what changed with the update. What we also noticed is that the air conditioning, which is always an issue, I need to say, within the Fisker, because it's very fluctuating, which I said already in another video. The issue is really like that you get more consistency now within the earth mode, as we said at the beginning, but the issue is super warm in the car or super cold. So either you need to put the volume pretty low down, or you need to also the temperature pretty down or up, and then the air is so heavy streaming out, yeah, that it's, with the time you're driving, it's pretty annoying, I would say, because you know, like, you consistently have the airstream here even when you change it from the up to down. That's pretty annoying, I have to say. So this is something which we recognized with 2.1. About the failures, which we said previously, yeah, they got to be a little bit better. We had just when there was a heavy sunshine or rain mixture, it was an issue, but the failures did better. I keep you on the loop because we have another 500 kilometers in front of us, and I hope this car will win finally charging, because at the moment we're at 16% and still charged just with 30 kilowatts. Yay! We're on the fourth charging station already. Again, we're driving about 600 miles in one row. Why we are on the fourth station is because one station didn't work, then we charged like minimum, as it didn't work is not true, we just could charge with approximately 30 kilowatts. Then we went to another one where we had the same failure, and also actually it didn't like to charge at all, the Fisker. Then I called my buddy Mike. Mike, you're the greatest guy ever. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Mike from Fisker Ocean Specialist, because I said there needs to be something wrong with the car. Do you maybe have any idea what could help us now in that situation? He said, like, try, you know, like, make a deep sleep and try to charge again. And that helped. And why we're on the fourth now is because we still have about 120 miles to go. Remember, with the software update 2.1, we can't go any mileage anymore. Maybe something is damaged now totally with the car. Not sure about, could be. Anyhow, we needed to do the same process here again, because when we came to the charging station, we charged just with 30 kilowatts. And when we did the deep sleep, we got finally the 165 kilowatts. We're on a 300 kilowatt charger all the time, yeah, by the way, yeah. It's the same provider, I need to say, so I can't say that it's maybe a provider issue, but I doubt that it is, because we have people next to us charging now with full speed. They don't have any issue, and they charged Olja with Allego before. So it seems to be that the car has an issue. Also, what was funny is when we closing the door, disconnecting charging, so it could be that there is some electric issue now with the charging port, yeah. I have 10,000, now 12,000 kilometers, approximately 700 miles on the car, 7,000 miles on the car. Not a good sign, not a good sign. I keep you in the loop how this keeps on going. Thanks for you guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And Jesus, I tell you, what a trip was this one, yeah. Also this 600 miles was literally taking us about 14 hours, yeah, with all these inconvenience, not able to charge, resetting consistently the car. And you know, we've been even taking charging ports which been 600 kilometers away from each other, so there is no doubt about that this was an issue due to the fact of the update. Also, you know, like, the evidence is that when we brought the car to deep sleep, that it finally worked. But strange was also the charging curve, yeah, because it's occurred to be, you know, like, going up, and normally in the past we had at 80, 82, 84%, it went down to 30 kilowatts. And here it was also a little bit like the same. It kicked in a little bit later, but then it went up to 80 again, which was really strange. So it needed to be really an issue due to the fact of 2.1 are finalized. This brings me to the next point. When we've been then finally at home, 3 days later, so we got then another update, yeah. So it was interesting because also my neighbors been, like ringing the bell like hell, and was like, "What's wrong, guys? Hey, what's wrong? I just like to relax." It was in the evening. Germany was playing soccer, yeah, in the Euro tournament, and the car was illuminated, all lights being on, like every single, like stuff being on, and it took hours, yeah, it took even 10% of the battery, yeah. So I needed to go in the night also to recharge the car because I can charge it home. Nightmare. Then the wipers been falling off and stuff like that. Since then, I don't see, like a big improvement of 2.1, but I don't like to say too much because it's just lately been updated now, and I don't have too much experience, but there will be now coming sooner or later an update on this also. I make a review on the 2.1 to see if there are really major changes. The moment seems to be that at least the ranges seems to be a little bit more regular, also and better, because imagine, like also with higher speed, we couldn't drive the car on the German Autobahn. It's like it's not practical when you're driving a car just with 65 miles, yeah, for this distance. So even with all the comfort the car gives, yeah, but also, like from a family side, yeah. So we have a young child, as you always see in my, we have this child seat here, and like this is not something which you can do. A trip of 8-9 hours, which would be normally taking within Germany, that's okay, I would say, with a lot of breaks also. By the way, it's charging not an issue then, yeah. But I have to say, if it then takes like 2 or 2.5 hours per charging, and you predominantly need to charge every 200 kilometers, yeah, every 120 miles, or even at every 100 miles for 600-mile trips, that's really not good. And that's, I need to say, that's so hard for me, yeah, because I can't recommend this car, like I even said to Fisker, please laminate car in December already, because the tech was also recommendation to Fisker. Their own employees said we need to replace battery cars because there's too much things. That's why I don't like to say every car is like that, but mine is really an issue. But I also requested it now. Fisker didn't like to talk to me about that topic. They just pushed and said, okay, yeah, we have a law department, yeah, there you can go to. When I was asking, okay, give me please the contact details, went to radio silent. Unbelievable, this behavior, because they're not bankrupt in Germany at the moment. Also, I've pushed him back. Like my car was like 5 times already in the garage. Needed maintenance. The tech was, I don't know how often on my car already. Under the circumstances, I really say it was a pain to make this road trip, especially back. The way to go there was okay. Of course, you have this limited abilities, yeah. No lane assist. The cruise control is not, like getting distance controlled and stuff like that. You need to consistently, like play around with it. You can't go speedy because otherwise the energy consumption is really failing. Yeah, I need to say, even with this really low speed, you never go to the 707 kilometers, which being said. Yeah, I think the 340 or 360 miles. That's absolutely utopia. And I have to say, what is also making it so hard for me, because I love the idea. I think the design is so great. So many people also on the trip been approaching me, asking, "What is this? A cool car? Can you rag them?" And on every single charge point, people went to me when I was parking, especially in the east of Germany, where the brand has no visibility at all. Yeah, people been approaching me, been interested. Yeah, so imagine if this would be fixed. Every single owner would be one of their best sales guys, yeah. But under these circumstances, yeah, and this makes me so furious, yeah, the promises giving, like the scamming, I need to say, it's really done by purpose, because they knew it already in August that they have financial issues and stuff like that. Of course, I can understand they'd like to protect each other, but why not fixing this and getting there, the things properly done? That makes me angry, because I still also love normally what this car could be, yeah. And I feel so sorry about any owner facing the same issue. Yeah, as you can see, it's really bad to me. Anyhow, guys, I make a review on the 2.1, as I said. I hope you enjoyed that video. Leave me comments, leave me your thoughts about, leave me your experience with your Ocean, or even if you still think you like to take in consideration buying an Ocean, yeah. just let me know. But otherwise, I can just say enjoy another video of mine, and there will be certainly a next time coming with a new video. I wish you a wonderful day. See you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.